Alright, so Alysrazor has been a boss that I've been doing for a very long time on normal, just to try and get the mount, and only recently started doing on heroic. But I kind of wanted to show that, even though this boss has been done, I think even since level 85. I think there was a shadow priest who did it back in Dragon Soul, like early on in Dragon Soul 2, and since then almost every class under the sun can solo it. But I just thought I'd go through it and show you how to do it as a Retribution Paladin. Now, to activate the fight, you either hit Major Domo and he snares you, which he didn't do for some reason this time, or you click on the feather and Alysrazor comes out. To start the fight, you're going to want to throw up Guardian of Ancient Kings, because this is the only time when your Guardian's actually even going to be able to hit Alysrazor. And then you're going to want to start picking up feathers. I pick one up early, and then just make sure that I picked up 3 by the end of her pathing cycle. I also pop Avenging Wrath with my Guardian of Ancient Kings, and just try to hammer away at her early on with that cooldown up. If you're not quick enough to get up and get behind her, there's a chance that she could despawn. And when I was very first doing this on normal, that happened quite a few times. It's just a bug that she has if you're not in range of her at certain points in the fight, like when she takes off, you will get her to despawn, and then you have to do it over again. While you're up in the air, you're going to want to avoid the gas cloud she spawns, which will damage you, and fly through these rings of fire. Each of these rings is going to increase your haste, so eventually you'll get to a point where you can use every global without needing to use Crusader Strike. So you'll just bounce between your most powerful abilities with Exorcism and Judgment, and you'll just be switching between those and then launching off Templar's Verdicts. Obviously you're going to want to keep up Inquisition as well. Now 3 times throughout the fight she's going to do Firestorm, which is going to do a lot of AoE damage, and instead of going and hiding behind a rock, you're going to just sit there and eat the damage. And depending on the talent you've chosen, you're either going to want to get Sacred Shield up prior to the incoming damage, or you're just going to want to use Selfless Healer at some point in time during that damage. You're also going to want to use Divine Protection just to reduce the incoming damage a little bit. Now I'll speed up the video here because the cycle just repeats. You follow them until another Firestorm, and then a minute later you're going to enter phase 2, unless you kill him first, of course. So let's talk about talents. I'd recommend Speed of Light. I use that to keep up with the Alysrazor as she is taking off. I'd also recommend Sacred Shield if you're doing this and you're a little bit under geared, so you're hitting phase 2. If you use Sacred Shield, it just makes that transition phase a lot easier. If not, you can go with Selfless Healer, and that's pretty strong for the Firestorms. If you're hitting phase 2, then Sanctified Wrath is going to be really strong, because you'll want to actually hold that off until phase 2 if you're struggling to heal through that phase, because you can tie it in with the Avenging Wrath Glyph, get a little extra healing out of that, plus your heals themselves are just going to do more, so that's another good option. Execution Sentence is going to be great for both healing yourself or doing damage to the boss, so either way you're going to take it. Templar's Verdicts for some slight damage reduction in case you hit a cloud or whatever, and then Flash of Light is going to boost the effectiveness of your heals in that second phase if you need it. Now I can usually kill the boss in phase 1, so I actually hold off doing any damage just so I don't actually kill the Alysrazor, but normally if you know you're going to be going into phase 2, you're going to want to stock up on Holy Power, get yourself to 5, so when you go into that transition you have just a little bit more to work with if you're struggling through that phase. I basically like to run myself before I start using other cooldowns. And remember that we have a lot to work with. So you've got your Divine Protection, 40% damage reduction for the magic damage that's coming, which is all of the damage that's coming in this. There's also Devotion Aura, 20% damage reduction. You can pop that. You can get yourself an Execution Sentence, and you could also LOH yourself at some point. If you're really struggling with this phase, you'll want to have saved Avenging Wrath simply for the healing, to increase your healing on yourself. And it's going to reach a point where she runs out of energy, and it's slowly going to build up to 50. Once it hits that point, it's going to start doing damage again. So you'll basically have to manage your cooldowns so that you've always got something running. Now, after she is fully powered, that seems to deal a lot less damage than the first part when she's doing the firestorm. So I would time your bigger cooldowns for that section, and then what I did here is I just had LOH ready for when she knocked me back, and it was kind of unnecessary, but whatever. If you've taken Sacred Shield, be sure that you use that. Also, you're going to want to position yourself to where she's not going to drop her feathers in the lava. Trust me, I've done it. It hurts, so stay away from the lava. And if you can get to this point, you can kill the boss. And you just rinse and repeat until she dies. And that is Heroic Alysrazor for you. Thank you for watching, and good luck.